Am I the a-hole for yelling at my family for getting me a birthday cake I don't want for the 15th year in a row? Unfortunately, I, 18F, was born a day after my cousin, 20F. Ever since I was little, my needs for my birthday were always outshined by hers. We always did family events to celebrate our birthdays since we're the oldest kids in our family, so we kind of just shared a birthday. We had the same cake. My family either never wrote my name on it, or would messily scribble it on at the last minute. Party decorations and games catered to her taste, and mostly all gifts would be for her. I just usually ended up getting a $10 gift card for Walmart or something, while she always got dolls, games for her Nintendo DS, and even a puppy one time. I always felt like I didn't matter for my birthday. Even my quinceañera fell flat, since my family went all out making my cousin feel like the most special girl in the world. But my cousin was always nice to me, and she would give me some of her gifts just to put a smile on my face. This year was my 18th birthday, and all my relatives were gathered in one place to celebrate me and my cousin's birthdays. My mother had promised me my own separate cake, and that it'll be an Oreo ice cream cake, my favorite cake. So I was excited. When my abuela gathered the family together to blow out the candles and sing happy birthday, my cousin and I got in our respective spots. They started singing while my mother brought a cake to the table and placed it in front of my cousin. It was a strawberry cheesecake. After we got done singing, my cousin blew out her candles and everybody clapped. My aunt started to cut the cake, and I would audibly ask about my cake. My entire family looks confused, and they all say this cake is for the both of you. My cousin spoke up, saying, but it only has my name on it. I looked to my mom, who had a what? Expression on her face. I asked about the cake, and she told me, you don't need the extra sugar. At that point, I just lost it, screaming at my family members and calling them all AHs. I cried about how this is the 15th year in a row that they've left me out and forgot about me, and how they ruined my birthday by always prioritizing my cousin. My cousin and little brother also jumped in and defended me, saying that I'm always never thought of. My abuela had the audacity to deliberately interrupt me, telling me to sit down and stop yelling. Through anger, I yelled that I never wanted to see any of them again and stormed off. My cousin and brother followed me, all comforting me while I cried my eyes out. This happened a few days ago, and I've been receiving angry messages from my family members calling me an ungrateful b**********. I'm at my cousin's apartment right now writing this, all while texting my little brother to vent. Edit. After reading the replies, my cousin and I have made the tough decision to block all of the toxic family members and go non-contact. I'll be living at my cousin's apartment now, and we're working on finding me a job. Final edit. I won't be responding to any more comments, but just know that I'm in a safe place right now, and we're working on where to go from here, not just a job, but finding a way to afford college for me and such. Thank you, Reddit. There might be update posts soon since a lot happened after the drama of going no contact. Update birthday cake incident. Hello, everybody. Teresa here. A lot has happened within the last 5 months of the incident at what was supposed to be my 18th birthday party. There were many ups and downs that's just mentally drained me. Alright, first off, I blocked my family members. The toxic ones, at least. A lot of commenters suggested this, so I took this as the best course of action. I've been receiving call after call from my family members chastising me for making a scene and breaking my cousin's trust with them. My cousin was appalled by their behavior towards me and decided to cut all of them out. I'd been living with my cousin for about a month after that point. I was able to get a job and help out just a little. I started taking online classes and saving up some money for my own apartment because I felt like I was being too big of a burden for my cousin. My cousin tried to stress that I was welcome to stay as long as I needed, but I told her that I was ready to leave everything behind. Back in October, I was packing some things up to get ready to move. My cousin told a family friend about this, and said friend told my mother, who reached out to me on a burner account on Instagram asking if we could meet up and talk. My heart ached when I realized who it was. I haven't heard from my mother for 4 months by that point, so I was admittedly skeptical. This may have been a dumb move, but I agreed to come under the condition that my cousin assisted me. We met up at a local restaurant, and I saw my mother for the first time in months. She looked depressed and lost a lot of weight, and seemed happy to see me. For once. She tried to hug me, but I stopped her. She respected that. We sat down and began to talk, catching up with everything. At the end of the conversation, she apologized and asked if we could start things over. As much as I wanted a relationship with my parents, I just told her that I couldn't forgive her for the past 15 years. Of always making me feel unimportant, and making me feel worthless after all this time. I told her that for once in my life, I was legitimately happy, and that things would be better if we never spoke again. My mother, surprisingly, didn't contest this. She just hung her head and paid the bill. That happened a month ago. As of right now, I've moved far away from home halfway across the country. I'm still no contact with my parents and toxic family members. I live in a small apartment, and I have a decent job as a waitress. My cousin, little brother, and I chat time to time, and we're still doing as great as ever. It's a bit quiet here, so I might adopt a puppy soon. I wish I could say it was a happy ending with a shit ton of drama and everybody clapped at the end, but it's best to just tell the truth. Thank you everybody for your advice. Edit. Fine, guys. I'll get a cat. Relevant comments. Your cousin and brother sound like the only reasonable people. Maybe you could go out just the three of you for cake? Funnily enough, that's exactly what happened after I walked off. My cousin took my brother and I back to her apartment, and she went to our local Walmart to get an Oreo ice cake for me, as well as 18 candles. She sang Feliz Cumpleaños to me, and gave me $100. Where are your parents in all of this? Why have they let this happen over the years? My parents funded the parties, as well as my aunt, uncle, and abuela. I remember asking them why I never got my own cake when I was 11, and they simply told me we just don't have enough money. But that's a lie, since our house that I've grown up in is pretty big. They have 2 BMWs in the driveway, and my little brother is going to private school soon. Did your mom forget? Is she too broke? It seemed like she just didn't want to get it. She even texted me, "Can't believe you're mad that I didn't get you a damn cake. You didn't need it anyways. Why is everyone seemingly against you? What is the root of this favoritism? Is there any context?" I hate to make this a long self-pity party, but I'll tell everything that's happened growing up. I was kind of an unwanted child by my dad since he wanted a son, and I wasn't feminine enough for my mother. I even remember when I turned 6 that my parents just kind of put me to the side after my little brother was born. I've never really felt like I earned the spotlight enough. They would always congratulate my brother when he made an accomplishment, but mine just kind of fell flat. My parents are the types that believe that art isn't a real job, so they just kind of shook me away whenever I showed them a drawing I made. And my mother would always make offhand comments on how much she wishes that I was like my cousin, who's more feminine, traditionally ladylike, and was an academic scholar back in school. She graduated with summa cum laude. I was basically a C-average student, tomboyish, and kind of average-looking in appearance. I get that I'm not the perfect kid, but I kind of wish my parents at least would treat me like their kid, you know? Growing up, my parents always compared me to my cousin. Emily has better grades, her pictures look prettier, her blonde locks are gorgeous, I have African American roots, so I have curly, frizzy hair. You're going into art? Well, she's going into medical school. I've never resented my cousin for being better, but I hated my parents constantly shoving it in my face. On OP's quince. Here's the funny thing. We had separate quinces, but since my cousin's 17th birthday fell on my 15th, they also went out making her look and feel like a princess. Clarification after the first edit. My cousin's only going non-contact with our abuela, my parents, and any other toxic family member. She's still contemplating her parents at the moment. As for my brother is still a minor, so he has to put up with them for a few more years. Quick edit. She and I blocked them on everything else as well, since my abuela tried to message my cousin on Facebook that I was corrupting her little angel and she wanted her to stay pure and good.